Here's the thing with writing, whether you're a copywriter, a fiction writer, or a nonfiction writer. If you could write more words and do it faster, well, you'd obviously make more money, right? But as a fellow human, there's a limit to how fast you can type and how many articles or chapters you can. But hey, it's the 21st century, and you don't have to be bound by human limitations. You know what? You deserve to write faster, write more, and make more money. Here's how. So first off, as you can see on my screen, it all begins with Otter Ai, a free transcription service that allows you to upload any recordings and then totally transcribes it really quickly. So while there is a pricing structure, it is not something that you have to pay for. So if you click on pricing just to get a feel for what it's like, as you can see, there is a basic free plan, and this is the one that I use. It has it has all the core features, which is really awesome. Of course, there are going to be some limitations. So in terms of transcription minutes, there's only a max of 40 minutes each. But unless you're going to be doing a heavy amount of transcribing, then you can stick with the free version and get a lot done versus the premium and the teams. I want to walk you through really quickly in a simple tutorial about how to use Otter.ai, but first I just kind of want to begin by how I use it, and the reason I learned about Otter.ai is a writer/editor. So I discovered it because I was working with a client a few months ago who needed help finishing a book that he had started, but he was running out of ideas about what to do with it. And I was working with him as an editor. So what I did, similar to what a ghostwriter would do, is I sat down with this gentleman and I asked him a couple of questions based on what I'd read of his draft in Zoom interview. So while I asked him these questions and he answered it in the Zoom interview was recording our interview. And then when I got that recording, I plugged it into Otter.ai and I turned that recording into words. And the really awesome thing about that is I took the words of this writer and from our interview, and I plugged them directly into his manuscript. And then I edited it. I made it sound like it matched the voice of the novel versus the voice of someone speaking. I added more things and fleshed it out, but the core of what we added to his book to finish it came from those recorded interviews on Zoom. And that explains why it's a great tool for writers. So if you are a copywriter, a nonfiction writer, or a fiction writer, this is amazing for you. And if you're a copywriter who's trying to make more money, let's say that you're trying to write a lot of articles on some of these websites where you get paid for longer articles, or you get paid the more you can submit to the website or to the client. Well, in that case, if you're a copywriter and you're writing all these articles, there is just going to be a limitation. You cannot do it all, especially if you're trying to actually enjoy your life. But if you can write out a general outline for everything you want to cover in the article, and then you can just talk the article out and record it on any kind of recording platform you want, whether that's Zoom, whether that's your phone, doesn't really matter. If you can just record the audio for what you want to put in that article, then guess what? You can say so much more as a recording, and then you can take that recording and plug it into Otter.ai, and boom, you have an article that's a couple thousand words. Yes, it's going to need heavy editing, well, depending on the nature of the article and how you communicate. But trust me, this is much easier than just writing it all down. By speaking it, it just introduces so many more words. And if you talk a lot and you come up with way more words than you need, then when you end up having to cut a lot of it out, you'll find that you can turn what you cut out into different articles, and it just saves you so much time. In terms of talking, you could get a couple thousand words out in like a half hour, and that can be for a couple articles. So if you're trying to make money as a copywriter on any one of those websites that ask you to write a couple of articles a month, or where you get paid to write a longer article, speak it out, record it, upload it to Otter.ai, and transcribe it, and then edit it, and there you go. You're going to get so much more work done. And if you are a nonfiction writer or a fiction writer, obviously you're not making money based off of the word or the article. However, you will finish the book so much quicker. You can cut to the editing stage so much quicker. And if you want to publish more books, or if you are like the client I worked with, a busy entrepreneur who isn't really great at writing, but really wants to publish a work to get your thoughts and your education out of your mind, then this is a way for you to get past the barrier you may have with writing. So no matter whether you're a nonfiction writer, a fiction writer, a busy person who's not really good at writing, but who really wants to write a book, or a copywriter, speaking your work and recording it, transcribing it through a free platform like Otter Ai, and then editing that copy is just 100% going to save you so much time and will help you make so much more money. So I'm going to walk you through how Otter Ai works. It is super simple and super easy to use. I already have an account, so you're of course going to want to sign up to use this platform. But once you've created your account and you want to log in, it's as simple as clicking the login button, plugging in your email address, clicking sign in, and then plugging in your password and clicking next. When you get to the logged in version on the back end of Otter Ai, this is what you're going to see. You might not have any recent activity if this is your first time using Otter Ai. Well, obviously, but I have used it before in that scenario that I explained earlier in this video. So here's something really cool about Otter Ai that I actually haven't used yet. They apparently do have a record function. So if you wanted to record something, it seems as though you could do it directly from Otter Ai. However, I have not used this feature, so I don't know if I can tell you how great of a feature this is. In my experience, when I use Otter Ai, if I'm recording an interview, what I do is I get on a free Zoom call, I hit record, I download that recording, and then I just import it. Or if I'm just recording something by myself, you know, what I do is I just pick up my phone and I hit record on that. You may want to download an app to record something, or probably is likely something you can record already on your phone. I hit record and then I just record myself on my phone and I upload that to Dropbox or Google Drive. It's probably better, as a pro tip, to just record it through Zoom or some other online platform, or through Otter Ai, so that way it's already on your computer. I have had some wild shenanigans with recording stuff on my phone and sometimes getting it to my computer, especially if you're trying to record a whole article or a whole chapter. It might be a pretty big file, so unless you already have an amazing setup for recording on your phone that you know you can get it onto your computer easily, I suggest Zoom, Otter Ai, something where you can just record directly onto your laptop so that you can go through it that way. Once you have your recording, what you're going to want to do is press import. And when you press import, you'll see this. So now what you're seeing is that with the basic plan, the free plan, you only get 3 free imports. If you have a whole lot of stuff you're going to want to do through Otter Ai, keep in mind that with the free account, it's going to be limited. There's not a whole lot you can do. So if you're trying to do a whole book and do individual chapters each, that might not be the best route. You'll have to then pay for an account. But if you know you're just testing it out to get a feel for it, try it once for free to see if you like it. Then you would just click this browse file button, and when you click that, you can choose in your documents the audio file that you want to upload. And keep in mind, it has to be an audio file. It also says you can upload a video too, and it will transcribe that as well. But audio just seems like the best way to avoid any problems. Just to show you what it was like for me, I'll show you the recording I did back in October. So I'm just going to click on this, and now you get to see the really cool formatting of how it works. And before I kind of break down what it's like on Otter Ai when you upload your video, I just want to talk to you about upload times. So as you can see, this transcript that I'm showing you, pretty long. It was an hour and 26 minutes. With this hour-long transcript that I uploaded, it really did not take long at all for it to upload to Otter Ai. I thought it was going to take a lot longer, so I got up and started doing stuff, but I think it was done in like 10 minutes, probably even less than that. It was pretty amazing. I wasn't expecting it. When you upload it, you know, you get this information about the date and time and how long it was, and then you get this really cool summary keyword section. So what that does is if something came up a lot in the recording, it breaks it down up here. This is cool for a lot of reasons. If you're writing an article, it makes sure that if you have to think about search engine optimization or SEO, it makes sure that your SEO is on point. If you are a nonfiction writer and there's a theme, or a fiction writer and there's a theme you're really trying to make sure is in your work, these keywords will help you make sure, hey, I'm really on to that theme. Or I'm speaking from the point of view of an editor, it will help you note anything that is a crutch word or a word that you are using way too often and you're not meaning to use as often as you are. I'm going to break down now what it's actually like in the transcription, and it is some really cool stuff going on here. Normally I would just press play, but since I don't actually start talking until 37 seconds in, pressing play is going to take quite some time to get to the spoken portion. Something really cool you can do is you can actually just click it and press play. And you see it automatically spoke what I said. So let's go down to where the dialogue between me and the person I was talking to gets a lot more fluid. So right here.
Okay. Are you on a phone or a computer?
On a phone.
Okay, and the phone's not showing this.
So see how good it is? This is, mind you, just a bot. There are other transcription services that are really cool, but that obviously cost money because it's real people working with the program to transcribe it and edit it. You know, programs like rev.com, really awesome, but obviously cost money. And if you're just trying to do something free to get a feel for it, or if you know you're not going to be writing that many articles and you can do the free and it's fine, I highly recommend Otter Ai, but even just as a bot is really on point. Something you notice is at this point, it starts to note speaker one. So you are able to actually click on these sides to type the name of the speakers. So I am the speaker here. So if I click that now, see how this becomes Tiffany Coe. And so for this right here, this would be the author who's the speaker. So I'm just going to put author. I'm not going to put his real name in here. And now I tag it. Now you get these check marks that note that yes, you made the edit, and now it's easy for you to keep track of who the speakers are. Of course, this matters only if you're recording a transcription between more than one person. If it's just yourself, it's not obviously going to matter to put the speaker in, well, because it's you. And something else you can do is,
okay, so you can see your book.
You can actually go in and you can edit it. So let's say you click this and then you click edit. Then you get these keyboard shortcuts for how everything works, which is really, really cool. So to edit something, you'll just click on it just once. Let's say that you're speaking and you listen to yourself and you notice that what the transcription came up with isn't right. So then what you can do is you just click it once, and then you can go in and you can change it. So the transcription was correct here, but just to show you how that works, super, super easy. And it saves it automatically. You can easily undo or redo something that you did by mistake. So editing within the document is super, super easy to do. Once you're done going through it, updating the speakers and editing anything within the text, the next option, the thing you're going to want to do is then click these three dots here, and you are going to export the text. And so then you get all these really cool options. You know, you can turn it, you can export it as a TXT, or, well, if you were paying for the account, you could export it as, you know, all these other really cool formats. But for me, TXT was okay. Keep in mind that means it's not going to be in any really beautiful format. What it downloads is you know, just going to be really basic, no formatting kind of a document. But then for free, you can download it as a TXT. You can change the file name here. And then you can click what details you want to include in this downloading of the transcription. So maybe you want to include the speaker names. If it's just you, and you only recorded yourself and it's just an article, uncheck that. Doesn't matter who the speaker names are. Timestamps probably also won't matter if it's just yourself, so you unclick that. And there's even an option to export it. It's just one monologue, just as one long monologue document. As you can see, that makes it kind of a pain on the eyes, so I wouldn't do that. But if you have a reason for it, go right ahead. Otherwise, it'll export it kind of in the way that it was paused based on the timestamps, even if you remove the timestamps. And then you just press continue and you have your transcription. And that is really as super simple and awesome as it is. Obviously, once you're done, your recording will live here, your transcription will live here. So if you ever need to revisit it, if something ever goes wrong while you're downloading it, it's here for you to go back to at any time. And I cannot stress enough how this is an amazing tool to up your money game as a writer. I know that if you're used to writing is a different language, obviously, than speaking. But after a while, you will find that you'll just get in the rhythm of it. And it's totally okay to make mistakes, to say stuff that won't actually end up in the final thought. Just let all the thoughts build out and speak about everything you say in the article. Be as thorough as possible, because keep in mind that maybe you're saying a lot and you might have to cut a lot. But if you're saying a whole bunch and you get an article or a chapter that is a long chapter, that's awesome, because while you're editing and cutting it, you're still going to have so much more to work with. So definitely experiment with the free version of Otter.ai and use it as a tool to make the money you deserve as a writer. I hope that this video has been very helpful for you. If you have any other advice about ways that you have written faster or ways that you found to write more and make more money, please talk about it in the comments below. I'd love to have a discussion about this. And if there's another tool that you recommend for writers in order to transcribe or to work faster or to make more money, recommend it 100%. Any recommendations in the comments, I always explore them and do research to put it on the YouTube channel as well. So recommend any tools, give any advice, and I'll gladly explore it in a future video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.